problem with Hillary is the reason why she's perceived as not likable, and it's always that word, likable. She's not likable enough. I'm surprised I don't call her intimidating, that's another buzzword, is because, and I swear to God, if you can look this piece up, this is what he said. He said, she doesn't seem to have any hobbies and she should take up golf. If she took up golf, then people would like her better. And of course, the subject of what he was moving into was, she doesn't show her emotions enough, and this we've all heard, right? She should show her emotions more. People like it when she shows her emotions. She seems robotic. So here we have somebody who is campaigning for the biggest job in the country, if not in the world, and she's trying to show that she's good at the job. And people say, well, all you ever do is talk about your job. Why don't you show your emotions? This is not a question, dare I say, that is ever asked of men. Why isn't, this man more likable or less likable? Why doesn't he show his emotions or not show his emotions? Why doesn't he take up golf? Well, they all play golf. And they can all play this in Clubhouse, which Hillary sometimes can't play in. So the idea that we live in it, that this is an equal election, that she is an establishment figure, that she is the usual suspect, it is a deeply disingenuous and deliberately mystifying story. And again, the double standard test is a simple one, and it's a powerful one. You imagine a man who is Hillary Clinton. Imagine a man who's called, Bill. Well, because she is not Bill Clinton, and that is the point. She is herself. She is her own candidate. So imagine a man who is called, Henry Rogers Carson, who has her record, not her husband's, her record, and has had ethical questions have been raised. People have said, has everything that this person does been correct, but has not been found guilty of illegality? Nobody has found evidence of any of these claims. The claims keep being made, but nobody has found anything. That man in this election, against these people, including with respect to your brother, would be cakewalking with jazz hands to the White House in this election.
I think Hillary Clinton has earned a lot in her own right, but what she has earned in her own right is pretty bad. Now remember, she was not a stay-at-home mom as the First Lady. She was a very powerful political figure. She was a very powerful political figure, and the political figure that she cut, the things that she supported and forwarded in the Clinton administration. She failed on the health care, and what she's done now is really despicable. She has turned around and said, national health care, universal health care is not possible in the United States. Now, she's worked on it for 20 years. She knows to the last inch how wasteful and disgraceful the system we've got is. She has turned against it because she thought it was a good ploy against Bernard. She was in the forefront of the lock them all up, her disgraceful comments about predators. She started her career working for children. She turned on children. She was the prime mover of the anti-welfare system in America, which has caused, if somebody studied it, how many deaths it's caused. A disagreeable politician, whether she believed any of these things were good or not, they were popular at the time. She is a perfect example of a very common sort of person, of politician. The fact that she's a woman is, in my opinion, not the issue. The issue is the kind of politician she is, and I'm not going to go into detail about her attitude towards foreign wars.
Can I just say very quickly, I think the problem with these arguments, so I don't have any problem with her being a woman, is that, and again, other people have pointed this out, and it seems to me a really important part of the conversation, is that people always say that I don't have a problem with women in general, I don't have a problem with a woman being the president, and yet it's never this woman. This woman is never good enough. That woman is never good enough. We have
a bit of experience with women prime ministers in this country. It may be that this is an irrelevant discussion for a British audience. I think the question is not really whether she's a woman or not. It's really a question, the same kind of question I remember being asked about Mitt Romney, whether or not she is likeable. And that question was asked of Romney repeatedly. He was called robotic. I remember those arguments 4 years ago. I don't think it really is convincing to say that there's some kind of powerful sexism at work here. I think her record is the problem. And look at the approval rating. We have two candidates now, Trump and Clinton, who are extraordinarily poorly rated by those simple approval questions. This is one of the really remarkable things about the election, which is strange, that you have two people who are likely to be the front runners. I'd love to think there were no superdelegates standing in Bernie Sanders' way, because in some ways, he under the Republican rule probably would have a shot at the Democratic nomination. By God, that would be an interesting election. But I don't think it's going to happen. And I think I know Hillary Clinton, I know the Clintons. So I say this with a heavy heart. The problem is not that she's a woman. It's that, as with Mitt Romney, he does not connect with the voters. That's the issue. And if Margaret Thatcher popped up in American form, then I've no doubt that she would waltz her way to the White House. But I don't see her at this point.
Well,
You can boo it. She was a great person.